The Celtics get big games from Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Jrue Holiday. That was nice. They take back control of this Eastern Conference semifinal series, and I'm going to talk about it right now in a bonus Locked On Celtics podcast.
Thanks to Blockbuster Brand, it's holiday season, drop Jrue in the mix. And 3 from KP, no we not on the Knicks. Flushing competition like Al on Giannis. Juice and Big Juice, still Beantown's finest. Banner 18 going up in the rafters. Watch the C's game in locked on after. Karalis on the breakdown, clutch like a tip from D. White on the breakdown. John on the mic, documenting domination. Matter pen a back bay, it's all C's nation. Rain and Jace, how it started, raising business, how we finish. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners. Peace.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast, right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. I got you covered every day, Monday through Friday, plus bonus podcasts like this when they play on a Saturday night in Cleveland, Ohio, which is where I am, here at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Celtics getting the win, 106-93. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast, watch the show on YouTube, get into the comment section, let me know what you think about this win. If you're new to the show, I'm John Karalis. I used to play a long time ago, a very, very long time ago. I'm being recruited to play basketball again somewhere in Cleveland, Ohio, which if you see me hobbling around with 2 torn ACLs, that's why. But hey, I'm here for you, podcasting no matter what. So make sure, like I said, subscribe. Today I'm talking about that 106-93 win. Celtics taking back control of this series, getting a hot start from Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, both those guys combined for 61. Jrue Holiday with a big performance. They needed something from Holiday offensively, and they finally got it. 18 points, 7 of 10 shooting, 3 of 4 from 3. But he did a little bit of everything. 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Typical Jrue Holiday defense, going out there, knocking Donovan Mitchell around for a while. Celtics, my biggest takeaway here is that this is a real playoff win. This wasn't perfect. It wasn't always pretty, but they came in with the right mindset. They came in with the right effort. They came in and they gave the game what it needed. Guys like Holiday, guys like Derek White stepped up. Tatum got going early. Jaylen Brown was efficient. Whatever the game needed, whatever the game presented, that's where the Celtics kind of say, okay, we're going to attack the basket now, or we're going to drive and kick. They gave this game they treated it, I think, with the right amount of respect, which they didn't do in game 2. They treated their opponent with the right amount of respect, which they didn't do in game 2. And the Cavs, I got to tell you, this building was incredibly loud. This building was electric. This was a really fun, hostile environment. Jayson Tatum made note, like he in his post-game press conference, he had like a little extra inflection where he was like, this place was great. Like, it really appeals to their competitive nature to be in such a hostile place. You're not a player at this level if you don't enjoy being in a hostile environment like this, because one of the great joys in playing basketball is shutting up a crowd that's this amped up. Like, the silence on the road is one of the best things you can hear as a player. So this place was amped. It was ready. It was loud. The Cavs were ready. They were physical, and the Celtics responded really, really well. This is the type of playoff basketball that you should expect. And this is when you're playing a team that's playing you physical and hitting you with, what Donovan Mitchell hit them with, 12 of 22, 7 of 12 from 3. The dude's not that good of a 3-point shooter, and he's just been hitting everything. I'm more surprised when he misses than anything. When they're doing that, it's tough. It's tough to not overreact to what Donovan Mitchell is doing. And they really hunted. They hunted Al Horford. And I honestly, I think that the game plan was to switch and to play Mitchell straight up and stay home on these other guys, their shooters, the guys that can hurt you. What hurt them in game 2, same deal as the Miami series, was the Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Karis LeVert's, those guys going off, and in the first half of game 2, Evan Mobley especially really hurting the Celtics. When the other guys are contributing in addition to Donovan Mitchell, it's hard to win those games. So the Celtics, I think, just stayed home, and to the point where they even let like some really easy layups go, because they didn't want to get burned by the 3-pointer, and they didn't overreact to Donovan Mitchell. I compared what Al Horford did a little bit to game 3 of the ALCS Red Sox and Yankees, when Tim Wakefield came out of the bullpen and threw like 3 innings in relief just to save the bullpen, and he just took it on the chin. And I think there was a little bit of that kind of thing going on with Al Horford, where everybody's like looking at Al and they're like, yeah, oh man, he looks cooked, man. You can't switch him on to Donovan Mitchell. And it's like, actually, you know what? Yeah, maybe he is a little cooked. Maybe he is a little, this isn't a fair thing to ask him to do, but you ask him to do it because he's willing to do it and he's willing to take on that challenge. And every once in a while, he will challenge Mitchell's shot. He will grab a rebound. He will do something. But even if most of the time Mitchell is winning that matchup, it's okay, because I said coming into the series that it doesn't matter what Donovan Mitchell does. And he puts up another 33 spot on, like I said, 7 of 12 shooting from 3. That's something where you say, geez, man, how do you slow that down? You don't. You just make sure you stay home on everybody else. He scores 33. The rest of the team couldn't get them to 100 points. You keep them under 100 points, you're going to win these games. So, yeah, I don't care that Al Horford got roasted on switches against Donovan Mitchell. That's fine. Keep doing that. If they want to keep doing that, and Al's like, yeah, man, I'll take on that challenge, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you just keep doing that one-on-one and let Mitchell cook. Frankly, I don't know if he's going to cook much anymore. Now, I say that now, and it's going to be a freezing cold take, because he'll probably find some way to get that knee back to whatever he needs it to be to be this crazy Donovan Mitchell that we've seen all playoffs long. But he, late in the fourth quarter, I think it was in the fourth quarter, yeah, where he kind of went into the stands and he came out, and that knee, that had to be bothering him. Some of it might have been he was out of gas. Jrue Holiday talked about it afterwards, where they really tried to punish him early and see if they can get that tank on empty in the fourth quarter. It worked, whether it's his knee or out of gas or both. He was 1 of 4 in the fourth quarter, 3 points. We're talking about Donovan Mitchell. We're talking about a guy who's just been ungodly and hitting these crazy shots. We're talking about a guy who in the first quarter dominated the Celtics, just hit everything. It was ridiculous. And they weren't even involving him in plays by the end. He wasn't even, like, they ran entire possessions without him touching the ball. Like that's odd. Like, that's not what Donovan Mitchell is about. So whether it was his knee, which I think it's his knee, and also some of it was just him taking a beating, playing physical and having to do so much all game. If it is mostly his knee, I don't know how he gets right for this game 4. I say in game 4, the Celtics should just go right out and just test him right away. The first 5 possessions should just all involve him, see where that knee is at, and see if he's anywhere close to where he needs to be, and put the pressure on him to be this superhero. So I thought the Celtics, even when Mitchell was getting the matchups that he wanted, they did a great job in limiting all these other guys. Max Strus, 6 points. Garland ended up getting 15, which 6 of 15 shooting, that's fine. Mobley, 7 of 11, 17 points. You can withstand that. Karis LeVert hurt them, but he did some of the damage late. 6 of 12 for 15 points, but none of these guys put up enough. And, Dean Wade comes back, only scores 5 points. They played Tristan Thompson, Marcus Morris, Sam Merrill. None of those guys gave them anything. Meanwhile, the Celtics get like I said, the 61 from Tatum and Brown. Derek White in the second half was awesome, hitting some big shots. Holiday had 18, so you get 30 points combined from your two guards, White and Holiday. That's where the Celtics are able to get just enough points. And then, the fourth quarter execution, even when they started getting stuff from Garland and LeVert in the fourth quarter, the Celtics were able to answer. They did little things. I've said a million times, the fourth quarter is about getting buckets. When you have a lead, it's about getting the buckets. So it doesn't matter if you're trading baskets with the other team. You can figure that out. You can figure out where to get your 2-3 stops that you need to close this thing out. If you're coming down and executing offensively, and it doesn't matter what shots they are, it doesn't matter if it's a layup, which they got a couple of, it doesn't matter if it's a three, which Derek White and Peyton Pritchard hit a couple of huge ones. It could be the mid-range shots, which Jayson Tatum hit that one on the baseline to kind of put things away. He needs to perfect that shot. Side note, he and Jrue Holiday need to get into the lab this summer and make that his Paul Pierce shot. He's getting it. He can get to that turnaround fadeaway. He's not hitting it consistently enough. This summer, like if I can give Jayson Tatum a homework assignment, you, Hanlon, figure out that shot, because you don't go to it in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, but in the fourth quarter, maybe you sprinkle in it every once in a while. But in that fourth quarter, when you have that 10-point lead, 12-point lead, and you just need automatic buckets, like Chris Paul getting to his mid-range shot, Kevin Durant getting to a mid-range shot. You need that shot that's in your pocket that you're just going to hit at a crazy rate, that once you're up 12 with 6 minutes to go, it's a wrap, because you just go to Tatum in the post against a matchup that he likes. Even if that player bodies him, you just take that 2 dribbles, bury the shoulder into the defender, use that momentum to spin, turn, fire, and hit that shot. That's a money shot. Then you're getting the defense to react to that, because if you hit that so much that now they got to throw 2 at you, now you're just giving the ball up to Jaylen, and he can hit those mid-range shots or get to the rim. White, Holiday, those guys, Porzingis when he gets back. So you need to make that shot, that mid-range turnaround, fade away, the one that he hit on Max Strus at the end, that has to become automatic. But the Celtics in the fourth quarter hit the shots they needed to hit, got the stops they needed to get. I think the fourth quarter execution, they built this 23-point lead, and credit to the Cavs for coming back. But they never let it get below 9. And it's because they're able to hit the shots, get the stops. It's not something that they've done all season long, right? That lead would easily get down to 4 or 5, and we would get into a clutch situation, which we didn't get into, right? We didn't see a clutch situation in this game. The Celtics kept it at 9. It was good to see them come out in the third quarter, top of the third, 14-0 run, build that lead up to 23. That was the turning point of the game, because that wasn't a lead that the Cavs could erase. They don't have a good enough offense to come back all the way from that. I say that even knowing that Dean Wade did have that game here right behind me. But if the Celtics are executing the way they did, then that's just an insurmountable lead for if you're hitting the shots. The Cavs half-court offense is not going to do the job there. So building up that lead after halftime, Jayson Tatum in the locker room challenging guys, hey, we've got to come out. I love the self-awareness of these guys to understand we get too casual in these situations. We just did it. We've got to come out in this third quarter and actually play like we're behind. To hear that Jayson Tatum challenged those guys to come out and play like that in the third quarter, not sit on, hey, we've just got this lead and we're fine. We're better than them. To come out and build that lead, that's the type of self-awareness that you need as a team trying to kind of get over the hump, get over that psychological barrier. I don't know why they do it, but they do, and they are aware of it. So that it's the first step to fixing it, being aware of your own shortcomings. Then you can turn around and you fix it. So they built that big lead. They were able to hold on to it. Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum. I think I've covered everything on a Saturday night. Just great to see this bounce back win. The Tatum and Brown stepping up and coming through. Tatum early, setting the tone. Jaylen hitting some really, really tough shots, getting out into transition. Those were all good. Good to see. When Derek White didn't have it going and Al Horford gave you nothing offensively, to have those guys carry it, and then to get Holiday finally giving you some offense. Good production off the bench from Peyton Pritchard. Good production off the bench from Sam Hauser, hitting 2 of 3 shots, a +10 off the bench in 10 minutes. I still want to see him involved a little bit more. But I thought he did a good enough job. There was one play that stuck out to me where the Cavs were getting kind of anything they wanted on the Evan Mobley setting the screen, rolling. The Celtics weren't doing a good job tagging him as he was rolling. They weren't messing up the timing of that at all. And they kind of got what they wanted for a few straight possessions in the first half. And then Darius Garland got Hauser, and Mobley comes up to set the screen and to just keep spamming the Celtics with a thing that had been hurting them. And Garland waves off Mobley, trying to take Hauser one-on-one, and Hauser stuck with him. And that possession actually ended up being a turnover. That's the type of play where Hauser continues to get targeted and he continues to hold his own. It was a very dumb play by Garland, who kind of thought he had an opportunity to cook. And instead of doing the smart thing and continuing to hurt the Celtics, he did the dumb thing, and it ended up being a turnover. And those things can really be magnified in a playoff situation. Celtics played good defense. They held them to under 93. They held them to 43% shooting, 33% from 3. I say held them. The Cavs had shots. The Cavs had opportunities. They're going to go back and look at that film, and there's probably 5 or 6 3-point shots that they took that were like, if those had gone in, this could have been a different game, but they didn't. They just didn't. Strus cannot get going. Obviously, Okoro's not 0 for 4. Mobley took 1, missed it. Garland was 1 of 6. That's if they're not hitting threes, they don't really have much of a chance. Even if the Celtics are not defending the pick and roll well, which they cleaned up. I didn't like the fact that the Celtics lost the possession battle here. They took 80 shots to Cleveland's 84. They took 34 3-pointers to Cleveland's 36. That does leave them susceptible to the Cavs getting hot. Like I just said, if the Cavs hit a few of these shots, they're taking more shots than Boston. The Celtics, I think, really need to win that possession battle. And it didn't hurt them in this game, but if the Cavs they don't even have to get hot. They just have to get average. And this game is different. It's a 13-point game with the Cavs taking more shots and shooting 43% and 33.3 from 3. You get that up to 47% and 38% from 3. And now we are talking about a clutch game. Now we are talking about a potential last second shot type of situation. So the Celtics have to win that possession battle. They have to put up, if they put up 10 more shots than the Cavs, they will win. I guarantee, not Charles Barkley guarantee, I actually guarantee that if you put up at least 10 more shots than the Cavs, then you're putting up the volume that prevents the Cavs from mathing their way to a win. Like game 4, this is going to be real desperation here. They're going to be trying everything. You cannot go back to Boston down 3-1 because that's going to be a wrap. So the Cavs, I mean, obviously it's a must win. if you don't win the possession battle, if you don't win the shot margins there, that you're at real risk, unless Donovan Mitchell's knee is crap. You're at real risk of just a couple of Darius Garland shots falling. A couple, like Strus just needs to hit one more. Garland just needs to hit two more. LeVert needs to hit one more. You just get just a couple here or there, and now you're at 12 points, right? Just four more, you get 12 points. And now, this is a 13-point game, right? So now that makes it a 1-point game, and the whole flow, the whole tempo, the whole everything changes. So they have to win, in my opinion, that shot margin. They have to, if they're going to make that a more comfortable win in Game 4. I will be here. That's Monday night. That's a 7:00 start. I'll be here from the floor after the game there. Hopefully, unless they do something there's a hockey team here, which I don't know. If they're ripping up the floor, then maybe I won't be on the floor here. But here I am at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. I will be back here at least to watch the game on Monday. I can't promise I'll be sitting here on the floor, I guess, because I don't know what the hell their hockey team, minor league hockey, which is fun to watch, but I don't care about whatever Cleveland Monsters are doing. So, but I hope you care enough about the podcast to be here with me on Monday night. I'll have, I think I'm going to have Tom Westerholm on tomorrow to kind of get the leftovers. We'll rewatch the game and get to some of the things that I didn't get to in this podcast. So make sure you're subscribed, get the show, whatever audio platform you use, Spotify, whatever app you use, that's fine. Watch the show on YouTube, get into the comment section, let me know what you think. And I would love it if you shared the podcast and spread the word. Tell everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast. It's right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.